And when I listen to the interviews and I hear how every one of them, male, female, just how they represent and yes. I said, show man. No, it makes you feel good. It come like one of the Ian Boyne interviews. No, for true.
I take it as a compliment.
No, for true.
I don't even know how to pass English. But
no, but so you always have to about you on the English. And with our favorite word, badass. Yeah.
Ready? You can see both our shoulders. All right. This is amazing. I am so happy and excited. May I try to learn from the other episode? I'm going to make too much noise so I can't scream in your episode. Because we have to realize that people are sharing these videos and I don't know whose hands.
No, but it is good in that you people are just who you are.
Yes.
That interview that you had with this girl who spoke about her being sexually abused, to me that was just so real, because so many people need to hear. Unfortunately, many of us hide these stories, you know. And then the chit chat you had afterwards, I mean, it was really good. So no delete, and only if Mr. Full things are.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Because I struggle, right? I struggle with the content that I don't want it to be too one way.
Yes, yes,
another,
yes,
but
yes.
To be balanced.
But it was good. It was very good, may I tell you. Very good.
Good. So I'm glad that the intent of Catchup is taking its intended effect.
Yeah, it is.
Impact.
It is.
I hope
it
so.
is. Because, I mean, many of the students was, oh, yes, I remember that person.
Yes.
And to hear what they have gone through and where they are now. Yeah, man. And I'm one at home. I have emptiness now. So Facebook and Skype are my new best friends.
That is wonderful.
So it's good looking at them.
Ready?
Yeah, man.
Hello, everyone. I am doing my utmost best to keep myself together because I am super excited about today's guest. So today's guest is Mrs. Maxine Boyd, my biology teacher.
And favorite teacher. Oh, and I didn't buy the position from anybody.
Oh my goodness! And I can say, if I had to do a graph of how many times a particular teacher was mentioned in a Catchup episode on camera and off camera, I would say Mrs. Boyd would have the highest frequency.
Yes.
You know, if I drew a histogram.
Yeah, and here I made sure to take my pin, you see. I hope the camera can come upon it. Favorite teacher, and it didn't come from any other Manning students, you know, so I carried that with me. Yes.
Oh my
Made sure to get it for her sake. Because I'm wearing my pin today.
Oh my goodness. You look absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I need to change my profession and go back to teaching.
No, girl.
I used to teach high school math.
No, but
you guys look exactly.
All right, let me tell you, because somebody asked me, a student actually asked me once, how is it that, you know, I stay fresh or in their eyes? But one of the things about teaching is that your facial muscles are well exercised, because and plus I love to talk otherwise. So you chat, you know, so that kind of help it. But outside of that, you have to live good with people and just stay away from toxic friends. And you have a program about friendship and stuff. Yes, avoid the toxic friends. And just live good. Love God. Love God. And although I know you people not so committed, but I hear you mention him. So many of the interviewees have mentioned him. Yes. You know, having achieved what they have achieved, couldn't have done it without him. That's my thing. Yeah.
So, because I know your episode is going to spread like wildfire, I am going to take this opportunity to tell you what Catchup is all about. So the intention of Catchup is not only for us to figure out what our teachers and our past students have been doing, our past schoolmates have been doing since they graduated. Another piece is for us to learn from each other.
Yes.
We are all trying to live our best lives. I hope we are, that we don't waste the breath that is in our lungs. And there's so much, Mrs. Boyd, that they're not teach you in a school.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So many things I have learned walking this thing called life. And that is what I want Catchup to do, to make us realize that we all go through these challenges.
Yes, yes. And then from the interviews that you do, those of us who have not walked a particular path, having listened to those who have, can learn from that and know what to do, what to avoid, you know, because, and to know that you're not the only one in this. Somebody walked that way and they survived.
And they survive.
Yes, yes.
And they're okay.
Oh, yes.
And also, a lot of people that I'm sitting with, I think, are successful. And I want you to know that you can go do it too. You just have to put in the hard work, change your mindset. But I want you to be open to the possibilities of what you can be and what you can achieve.
Oh, yes.
So I just want to be clear on the intentions of Catchup and not just to sensationalize it and the fun of it. But there is a deep meaning and purpose behind Catchup, and I wanted to make it known. Good? With that, let's have fun. You weren't a past student of Manning.
Oh, yes. Yes, definitely.
So many teachers are past students of
Past
Manning.
student. Came to Manning's 1973. Yes, and taught at Manning's for 18 years. This was my first job. Yes, yes. So spent a lot of years at Manning's. My husband too is a blue blood.
You still have?
Oh yeah. Hey, Tony Featherboy.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That is wonderful. I never knew.
Yes.
So what year did you graduate?
1978.
1978. All right. So for your fellow schoolmates, because I have to figure out how to approach this interview, if you see other schoolmates who want to catch up with you since 78, and you want to give them a high-level overview using milestones of what you've been up to since they last saw you, using further education and jobs you've held, can you give them an update? What have you been up to since 78?
78, when I graduated from Manning's, I had applied to college, but then I learned that I was too young because they were not, I was just going on to 16. So they were not taking, and they didn't take any 16-year-olds at that time. So I had to wait the following year before I got through to college. I did a little stint at the post office in the meantime. So I always knew I wanted to be a teacher, nothing else, never had anything else in mind. You know, so I went straight to college, and after college, as I said, landed my first job here at Manning's, spent 18 years here, and then I only moved from Manning's because my husband was all around the island. So far, he has worked at every parish except for Portland and I think Manchester. I think he did St. Catherine. So, you know, I was a weekend wife for a very long time. Yes, and still is. So then I went on to, I got 8 months leave.
Yes.
In 2000, went to St. Mary. He was at the St. Mary Scotiabank at that time. I thought, no, 8 months, yes, he's now at Scotiabank as a manager. This is stability now for me and the family. So I took my kids and we went. My dear, the next year they sent him to Falmouth. Yes, and then the following year he was in Kingston. So I went back to square one. So I'm still a weekend wife. It's worse now that our children are grown. Yes, we're grandparents.
Emptiness.
Yeah, right. So it's the emptiness syndrome. Having gone to St. Mary in 2000, I think has helped me in somewhat. I have grown in some areas. I like to write, for example, get in touch with my feelings. So having gone there, Marymount High School, and they are big on culture. St. Mary is big on culture.
Yes.
Right? And so I started writing poems, and many of these poems have, students have medal, national finals they have gone to, even gone to Melogorone, which is the ultimate, so I've not done badly there.
She's so humble.
Well, the Bible talks about humility, so I have to stay humble.
Yes.
That means I perhaps even shouldn't mention anything about any of the accolades.
No.
I say, go on Facebook and you will see.
And your work.
Yes. Well, last year, I don't know, last year there were 3 major awards that I got. There was a Golden Torch Award, which is awarded to teachers who are part of the JTA. Well, even if you're not, I guess. But for 35 years of service in teaching. And then Chris and Charles, another company, I think they did it here at Manning's too. One of our Manning's teachers, I remember watching her, a young teacher. They honor teachers too who have been doing very well across the island. And one of the things I liked about that is that you don't have to be a member of Chris and Charles, because I'm not a member yet. So I was awarded, from a parish. And then there was another award where you have teachers who are LASCO winners, and they are about helping or building other teachers to make sure that the educational system grows and that, follow best practice and do what we're supposed to do. So they wanted a number of teachers who they think have been doing well to help in that.
Yes.
So I was one of the persons who was selected for that as well. So there were 3 major awards. And it feels good to know that, your work is recognized, or people honor your service. Yes. And also the fact that I was mentioned so many times as favorite teacher, that to me is a big, big, big award.
Really?
Yes, because I hear you asking about what success means to people. And to me, success is not just about me, but it's about the impact that you have on others.
Yes.
And not only just academically. So when I hear my name mentioned, I I had to give myself a little bit of pat. It feels good to know that you impacted a life or lives in so many ways, And I'm still trying to do that.
So I'm going to ask you, because you mentioned being married and your husband and you being a weekend wife. So I'm going to ask you, for you, what has marriage taught you?
Oh, Lord.
It's not on the list, but I have to ask.
Yes. Okay, my thing with marriage is that I go into it and I'm going to stay in it. And marriage has taught me the whole thing of sharing, compromising, sometimes allowing the pain to fall like rain down your eyes when there are little issues that you have. But certainly it has helped me to become an example to even my children, because my husband and I, of course, we have issues. But one of the things I have never ever done is to have a brawl or talk loud or carry on in front of our children, because I want them, when they choose partners, to know that persons can live together, have a good life, have issues, but not allow it to break the marriage, So my children, even when I look at the spouses that my children have taken, 3 of them are married. We have 4. And by the way, we had 3 of them getting married in 1 year. And it was like January, February, March, in that order. We're very proud of them, very proud of the partners they have chosen. So, and I think based on how my husband and I live, they have taken some example from that. Yes. And I've learned also to be a very, very good friend to your partner. One of the issues that you did, and I remember Garth Williams and some others speaking about, and you and some of your girls talking about having these friends who are away, and then you just catch up back.
Yes.
And not and it's not, Lord, you couldn't cut, there's nothing like that. So I have learned, my husband being away many times, just to maintain that friendship, and he's very good at that. So even though he was away, my children never missed him.
Understood.
Missed him in the sense that his absence was not felt, because he would constantly call and was very much a part of their life, and still is one of our greatest motivators, yes. It has really taught me a lot, and has encouraged me to say to others, yes, you're having issues in your marriage, but whatever you're experiencing, the joys and the other experiences you have had, far outweighs whatever is going on. So hold on to him, because it's one of the ploys of the enemy to break up the family,
Yes.
And he'll use anything. But God is there, and sometimes it's him that has kept me. I remember saying to my children once, I have issues. And one of my daughters and son, Matthew and Tonian, who said, it's like, Mommy, please. I guess because of my personality, they don't think that I have certain kinds of issues. You know, but Robin, who is the more, well, I wouldn't say the more level-headed one, but the one who would perhaps think more deeper,
yes.
You know, say, Mommy, everybody has issues, you know?
Yes.
But marriage has really helped me to grow and helped me to help others and influence my children and the partners they choose, I think.
What do you do for fun, to relax?
No, I used to read a lot. I don't get to do as much reading as I would want to, and I like mysteries.
Yes.
And medical conspiracies. I used to do a lot of John Cook or some Cook person.
Hey,
and Mary Higgins Clark and those kinds of books. I used to read a lot of those. Don't have much time to do that, but with my emptiness now, Facebook and Skype have become my very best friends.
Yes.
You know, so I will surf the internet still. And I love to write. So I'm still into the poetry. I can't remember in case you want to hear a little bit.
Yes.
I am not.
Can I see it?
Well, it's just a folder that I put my writings in. So
published it yet?
No, Marsha. So, well, I could share some with you, or just a piece of one anytime you want, whenever you're ready. You want to do it now?
Yes.
All right, let me see if I can find one.
I'm going to make God flow this interview. That's how he wants it.
All right. Misting. And I was going to give you a little piece. I was playing on the words of Miss, you know, like Miss Universe, Miss whatever. So this is entitled Miss Thing. Pleasure, not pregnancy. I was not part of his plan. To my mother, a financial opportunity, and he, a married man. So when his cell fused with her cell and me the two did make, I was crowned with my first title. I was labeled a mistake. I was mischievous, and so the beatings were repeated. No one to cushion my battered, scarred body. I was frequently mistreated. Their opinions of me became my reality, and in me they saw no good. So even if I knew they could and that I should, I chose to be misunderstood. It is said that wisdom comes with age. So at the ripe old age of 13, I packed my things into 2 scandal bags and decided to flee this scene. I'd find a new place. I'd change my old ways. I'd do the very best thing. I'm excited. There's a new dawning. I can hear the announcement. I'm missing. Yesterday, I met a man, and my future seemed bright. I was treated like royalty. He nurtured me right. The law was, schoolboy get lunch money, but big man earn salary. It's only a bag juice the schoolboy can defend, while big man money can buy you supplicant. Furthermore, schoolboy wear khaki, but big man sport car keys. My hair styled, my nails done. I wore the hottest style dress. Just look at me now, I am a mistress. The man shone, the manifold blessing manifested as promised. As long as I was alluring and available, I'd no longer be a damsel in distress. So I thought, until I realized that my life had become a ritual. In my quest for a better life, I had failed to read the full manual. It showed quite clearly how our lives would be operated. I didn't read the fine prints of how I would be manhandled or manipulated. So here I am again, misled and misused. Manic depression setting in, I'm utterly confused. I kept a woman at age 15. I looked older than my chronological years. How do I get free here without confronting all my fears? How do I escape the torment of a soul that's so damaged? A torment that bellowed out loudly, Miss Man Aged. Stop it here. Yeah, so that is one of the pieces. Actually, my daughter did this for JCDC and got gold. And I have quite a number of different kinds,
Marsha,
you know.
please get her published. Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
That was deep.
Deep.
A lot.
I try to look at
Did she become her mother? She became kept by her. She's a mistress. Did she
Yeah.
become a mistress? Which is what her mother did to have her.
yes.
So
Yes.
the
So the
cycle
cycle continues, yes. And that's the thing about life too sometimes. As I said here, we don't read the manual. And the manual is not a book, but you read it from what you see with other people's lives. So this is why even Catchup helps. Because you listen to the stories. What's your story? Own your story. Share your story. So when we share our stories, other people can learn. That's the manual. Even with marriage. Yes. Yes, because I had some good friends right here at Manny's. I remember 2 pastors' wives. Oh Lord, I'm having a senior moment now, so I'm not even remembering their names. But these are women who really helped. I had a very good friend, Joan Hudson. Yes. Persons who are older than you are, but then they could sit down and talk to you and tell you what the manual is like, you know. So I read those and it helped. Yeah.
Did you teach other subjects apart from biology?
No.
It was only
And can I tell you that I was not a very good bio student? But when I went to college, I don't know, and I'm saying this because sometimes we think we're not good at something,
Yes.
and you turn out to do that thing and end up being good at it, right? But I don't think I was a good student, because I tried all the time to do my work, but I wouldn't say I was a good bio student. But when I went to college, based on what I wanted to do, they didn't have that option. So I ended up doing biology and PE. I've never taught PE since I left college, but I like, you see, anything I'm doing, sometimes some of my friends will tell me that I'm a perfectionist because I'll go right throughout the night and I must get this thing done and it has to be in a certain kind of way. So I ended up doing that. And when I came here, there were some teachers, Mrs. Ranglin, I can remember. And there are other teachers who, because Mrs. Ranglin was a science teacher, these persons really help to develop you, you know. So here I am. Yeah.
What's your favorite memories of Manning School?
Favorite memories?
I wouldn't ask you about favorite student because then when she mentions my name.
Oh, yeah, no, well, but you and I were a little bona fide, yes. And you didn't call my name either. I must give you a detention.
I don't know how I forget that time to mention your name for all of the moments in bio class.
Yeah, and even outside of bio class, when you taught here at Manning's, and maybe we had a nice little thing. You were a good girl. Favorite memories? Oh Lord. I remember, you see, and I'm not even sure it's a favorite memory. It's just a memory that I have used to know how to interact with students. And I'm going to call his name Dane Nelson. Dane would always, I remember teaching them Dane in grade, in first form and then in second form, and I would always have them, I don't know, the 2 last sessions on a Friday, and Dane would always turn around, because Dane would be staring at me most of the times, and I'd go to the back of the classroom and he would turn around, and then when the class ends, Dane would say, "Miss, have a nice weekend." And then, I never paid him any mind, you know. And then I can remember him, I went to a class not too long ago, I remember Dane saying to me, "Miss, you wear pants?" Of course, this had nothing to do with the lesson, but I guess whatever was going through his mind while my back was turned, you know, but I remember that he and I have still, just the other day I called him, you know, so we became friends, but I know that there are students who will have little things in their minds, but as an adult, I don't play on it, because I don't want them to think that you don't want to break their little heart in any way for whatever designs he had on me. But we became very good friends because I talked to them. And I remember one would always, he's talking to me and he was doing like this. And I'm just talking to him, I'm not paying him any mind at all. Because you don't want to crush the poor little young man heart. But let me tell you, my best memory though, and I have said it on Facebook, and I will never forget at Marsha's brother, Dwayne, and Dwayne, I get the name right because I'm always calling him Garth. Garth is a bigger brother. Dwayne Gray. And I up to last month, I remembered and said it to the girls because I'm at an all-girls school now. But there was never a time I would have Dwayne's class and I would just be standing there. Dwayne is going to go for a cheer for me. And he may not even realize that the impact that has had on my life, just to know that chivalry has not died or did not die, then it's kind of died now. No, but you still have a remnant of those. And it's kudos to his parents. And I did express that to them, you know. But he will never, no, they take your chair and you better stand up, you know. But just for him to do that, said to me that here's a young man who was well trained and who cared enough to get a chair for his teacher. And he was a good young man otherwise, you know. Very conscientious and so Dwayne, big up to you still. And I know that your children, you're going to treat that. You have treated, he has a daughter here, I understand. Boy, life going fast. I have so many, I'm grand teacher to so many children. Yes, but, and then I've had good friends here, other teachers that I've met, and we have shared. There were evenings, and I still do that. A group of us who would always linger. And we weren't lingering just to chat. We'd have conversations, but we're always staying back to do work. You know, and just those sessions sometimes in discussing what is going on with other students. Because I tell my students all the time, even though that I chat them. Because I want to know if the fact that they are failing my subject, is it something that I am doing wrong? So I need to know what to correct, right? So if I hear other teachers saying, I go like, so it's not really me. I mean, I may add to it, but you know. So
understood.
Yeah, and I've met some students here who today we still communicate. Michelle, yes, yeah, and her husband who is a doctor.
Yes.
Yeah, still communicate.
You're well connected with your past students.
Yeah, man.
Oh my goodness. All right, we're going to go back in terms of your personality and how it has evolved throughout the years. What words would you describe your personality back in high school? What words come to mind?
Stable. I was somebody who, from then I avoided toxic people. I always tried to be around a group of people who would make my baby leap. It's like when Elizabeth went to Mary and just talking about the birth, what was going on in her, it made the baby leap. So I try to gravitate towards people, even then and now, persons who will birth something within you so that it will grow. So there was that. So I always have a lot of big people friends. I had some friends who knew where they were going, and not the kind of friends who would inveigle you into doing something wrong or say, yes, deal with it this way, you know, the kind of confrontational way. Yes. I avoided that. So I had very good friends. And that kind of helped to shape my personality. As I said, I was always very conscientious. I did my work. Knew I wanted to become a teacher. Didn't know what exactly I wanted to teach, but I know that was where I was heading. Oh Lord, love to laugh. Love to laugh. Yes, still does. You see, yeah. Any day you see these cheeks go down. I remember one of my friends, he said I had dumpling in my cheeks, dumpling cheek. Yes. Yeah, but anytime these dumplings just falls up, then I know, yeah, life hard and rough. Yeah, but life is such that if regardless of how hard it is, still sweeter, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there a trait or a personality trait you've developed that's now here in your life? That
yes. When I was younger, I used to be mean. Mean, not mean to people, but mean with food. Yes. But remember those times you only going to get a little bit of something. Only Sundays, we used to get chicken. And I have a story to tell you. I'll tell you afterwards. only on a Sunday we used to get chickens. And then we never get any pocket money. We didn't know what that was. So you just get money to buy a lunch and that sort of thing. So I think I was kind of mean. But no, my mother, my Lord, if you talk about my mother, you talk about somebody who gives. And I have learned to give and to give and give. And so I think over the years, that is something that has changed in me. So unless I tell people that I used to be mean as a child, they wouldn't know that. Let me tell you the story about the chicken. Remember, as I said, the only time we used to get chicken is on a Sunday.
Yes.
No, when my brother was when he was a baby, he had asthma. All right? And I can't forget this Sunday evening, my mother had cooked chicken. And she was having her meal, and he was having a little crisis, with the asthma thing. And he vomited in the food. And my mother called me and told me to go and take the plate and go throw the food. And I look at the plate and I say, chicken. I have to go wait until another Sunday before I get more chicken. And this is good chicken. Man, me just go wash off the chicken, the baby vomit, and just eat the chicken. Eat the chicken leg. No, I must go throw the good chicken. It's baby puke. Maybe it was like my mother's vomit or big people vomit. Perhaps I wouldn't have. But it's just to show that. So sometimes when I hear children talk about holding life rough and what have you, what they call poverty sometimes pale in comparison to what we go through. I never thought I was poor. I just knew we didn't have much. But it did not, yes, and it didn't prevent
the cycle and the schedule.
Yes.
Just work
with it, man. Schedule. And this was a little house, but my mother always kept it clean. And I think when you have a clean environment, there's that same sort of cleanness in your
thinking.
Yes. And she was very ambitious, and so we too. Yeah. So I've become a giver.
So, the question I have, and I'm going to change it up for you, is there something that you used to believe about yourself that has changed or evolved, or that time has passed, that you used to believe?
Not really. I don't think I've changed much. People don't believe it when I say that I am shy. Because yes, there's that side of me, shy in the sense that I don't like to ask people to do things for me, and I still don't. And I think maybe the reason is I don't want to give anybody the edge to say that, I used to do this, and yes. So I try as much, So whatever I don't have, I do without. I will ask for you, So I'll go and ask for you, but as long as I'm not asking for myself. Yes, I think I've had that, and it has not really changed. I became a Christian from very early, when I was in second form. So I think I have kind of walked a pathway that did not require a lot of changing of personality.
What advice would you give your past students right now, me, at this stage of life? What advice would you give us?
All right, I'm going to give you two. Okay. And I'm going to give you one first that Joan Hudson said to me, and it's something I use. Up to yesterday, I was using it. And even coming down with Tony, I was using that. And she said, envy not the appearance of happiness in any man, because thou knowest not what secret sorrows he bears. And so I say to you, and I say to other young people looking on, you see persons prospering, you see even their marriage look like it's wow, and they're achieving this and achieving that. Do you, because you don't know what kind of experiences they have. A gentleman said to me once when we were building around by Landilo, and he said, thinking about going to borrow and so on. And he said, listen, man, because there was a house just a little bit away from us that just went up zoops, but then the people were at foreign and they had money could send out. We had only a piece of zinc and rain fall and it wet you up and you push out water and that sort of thing. And he said, he was contractor Brown. I used to teach his son. And he said, don't watch them, because you take your time and do your thing. You see, in 10 years, because you take your time and do your thing, you have money, you spend. All right, no money, building stop. Right? Next time you get a little money, start again. Theirs may go up, but when yours finish in the 10 years, they still have bank looking over their head, and you can sleep good. right? So, and it ties in even with the first advice I give you. Just do you and look at your circumstances. Yes, you learn from others, right? But don't be so caught up in trying to emulate others that you lose yourself, right? Learn from them, but do you. Absorb what you can absorb that is good for you. Do you.
I'm changing up a lot of things because of you. So the next question I have for you is, walk us through one of the toughest times in your life. A really challenging time, and what did you learn?
Challenging time. My word.
Yes.
I don't know if because of my personality, I don't know if I can say I've had challenging times. Oh Lord.
Take your time. I edit because of people who drive in car beside me. You can't tell when you see this end. Sometimes people are like, wow, the final cut was, wow, I was sitting there.
Maybe I've had moments again in my marriage, especially when my husband was away, and just having me alone with the children. I remember one year actually finding myself down by Dr. Foster because I thought my heart was going. I mean, I would walk and I'd have to stop and yes, and I trust my heart, because you come into school, I teach biology, so you know, all this only for lab book, and I have to carry home lab and all of it. So work is at home, work here.
We cannot any diagrams, you know, so you don't have less work. But no, we don't give one now, we have to work and resubmit. Sorry, we still have you up. We still have her up for the 1 out of 10.
But look at where it has gone. Look at you now. It has not changed any of you. It has made you. I tell my students now. But of course, them have about the cash pot grades. Everybody getting under 30. And I ask them what the number mean in cash pot related to their lives. But the thing is, now I see what these students have become. And funny enough, I used, and maybe I look back and say, you know, I could have been a little bit kinder. And I can hear some of them going, yes, yes. But then it has not affected you in a way that it made you any worse off. You have all become great people of substance that I'm so proud of. Yes, so the 1 out of 10 didn't kill you.
Apology accepted. That's
yes, accepted.
So on behalf of all of us, we accept her humble apology.
And I always say to students who try to apologize and laughing, I say, yes, you're apologizing and you're laughing. Anyway, sometimes we go through rough times and it builds us. That's one of those times.
That's the one.
Yes.
All right, no problem. What does success mean to you?
I remember a student saying to me once, Miss, you know, when I grow up, I want to be like you. That made my day, because it said that I have impacted this life. And I didn't even teach her.
Really?
Yes. And she said that to me, because the thing is, people look at you, you know, as one of the things we learn in Christendom, you are a preacher in shoes. So you're walking, you're all unconcerned, but people watching your lives. And I think it has to do with the way I relate to people, and not blowing my own trumpet, but I think from listening to the past students who have said I'm their favorite teacher, they didn't talk much about how I was as a teacher in terms of the content. It had to do with how I related to them.
Yes.
And I try to see people as people, you know? So I will say a student and I say, boy, oh, Nackia, your hair looks so nice.
Yes.
And I mean it. And then I might say, your face don't look so good. But and it generates some laughter and we go on. You know?
That's
so
exactly what she
I try
like.
to, yes, I try to to build relationships.
Yes.
With my students as I do with my own peers, you know. So and to be an example, as I said before, to my children, that to me is success. When I see them living a way, yes. I mean, some of them have some ways that you know, but like all of us have things about us that perhaps we could change.
Yes.
You know, but to see that they take a certain pathway, they're following the Lord, and that sort of thing, that to me is success.
What are you most proud of?
What am I most proud of?
There's more to come, but so far.
Yeah.
What are you most
Again,
proud
like
of?
so many people, proud of the relationship. This is a buzzword with Tony and I, that when we see persons doing a certain thing or living a certain kind of lifestyle, Maxine, what does it goes back to that word? And I'll say to him, Tony, that word, relationship. It is something that we try to build. So I'm proud of the relationship that we have, Tony and I share with our children. So we can all go, some children don't want to be around the parents. No, at certain times of the year we'll go to one of those shows, and anytime we get together, it's laughter, 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 laughter. And it feels good to know that they can be around us and nobody wants to say, no, or talk so much negative about. They'll say little things and things, but we like to be around each other. It's just joy, joy, joy all the time.
We only have one question left.
Yes.
At the end of your life, what do you want us to remember the most about you? What do you want your legacy to be?
That woman who gave back, or who gives, right? And I'm gonna plug in something here. My mother, again, is somebody I got that from. If you go to my mother's house, it may look in her bedroom may look like she's a hoarder, or she had a veranda, but it's not a veranda because things pack up in there.
Yes.
But she collects things for people. So when she's coming out, she lives in Florida, is the person with the biggest bag. I don't know how she finds so much favor in the Lord, but she gives and gives and gives. And I try to do the same, right? And so, like you and all you past Manning students with a pretty clothes and things, there are people who are in need. Yes, send them right here. But it feels good. It feels good to give. Christ gave his life for me. And so I want to be remembered as somebody who gives. And gives not just academically, but gives something to caress your soul and to make you feel better about yourself. Yeah. And like people like to be, want people to be around me, so people can laugh.
We do.
Yeah. Yeah, so much laughter packed up here. Yeah, still have more to give.
Oh my gosh. That's the last question.
Yes.
So thank you so much for traveling from St. Mary.
And thank you so much for traveling from Ohio. My word, girl, you mean business? But I feel special. You come all the way.
Yeah. And if you want to come for a weekend, let us
We'll
know.
do. Tony and my daughter is in Ohio, so she's in Cincinnati. So whenever we come by,
minutes away.
we'll definitely come and see you.
Just so you know.
Yes.
And we'll do a Facebook Live
for
everybody who wants to come in and chime in. So I'm going to close. And how am I going to close?
Say hi to Jeremy, Germs, and Vermont, and all the rest, and all of your past Manning students. I can't call no name. Yes.
Call me. I'm
oh Lord.
Call Mr. Green.
You have to take off that part. No, I have to call Dwayne. No,
I'm gonna say maybe she will get away with the one. You know them.
Oh Lord. Yeah, I know. But I've made such good friendships with students here, and even with students at Marymount. People say, Mrs. Boy, it feels good. It's not one that lad, look, I hate the woman. And that's what they tell me, the woman.
There's a few of those.
Yes.
And they still remember the power of teachers.
Oh, yes.
I don't think they know.
Yes.
I don't think they know the power that they have. So I have to say this because this is going to go on YouTube and be there forever. That you had absolutely no clue the joy you brought to my life.
Really?
No clue. I looked forward to going to your classes. I could have gone to the back and stopped taking all of the under-jabbing jokes, but I enjoyed our relationship and that we had. It brought joy to my life during a time that I needed any amount of joy I could find.
One of the privileges I think as a country that we have a lot, I pray that it doesn't go, but is that I would watch some stuff, I would read some stuff, and I would come to class and I'll talk about life.
Yes.
And not just about the biology. And lucky thing, biology allowed you, because biology is life, so it allowed you to interject some other things about life. And I really enjoyed those. And like Desiree and Vermont, that class, I call the names again. But no, 5 Blue, I think it was. 5. No, man, I really enjoyed that class. I tell you the truth.
Whatever happened, like not calling other classes? Oh my gosh!
No, but
that they were in your class.
Well, not really. I've had Craig Peru. I have oh Lord, Candy, who's a doctor. Yeah, she's in Anota Bay. Well, I'm not sure if she's still there. But there are so many students. So many.
I think
so many.
Sarnia there now? I don't even remember who she was. Sarnia Blake.
Oh yeah, Sarnia.
So,
oh Lord.
I just want you to know what impact you had on me. And I can't even attempt to describe the impact you had on the people watching on the other side of this camera. You're extraordinary. You're awesome. You're warm.
Thank you.
You're loving. You are a perfect example of somebody who absolutely enjoys their profession.
Yes,
it's like you were born to be a teacher.
Really never want. Oh yes.
It wasn't the
money.
Money.
Oh,
money.
You're right. Can you only hold in a small bag?
And so we saw it, we felt it, we knew it, and it was something to behold. So, on behalf of all of us, all of the Blue Bloods, thank you for your extraordinary service and love. Thank you.
Thank you so much too.
Yes.
It feels good to be here. This is success too, you know, because you would want to interview me if I hadn't had some kind of impact. So I feel successful.
So with that, I'm going to close. Mrs. Boyd, thanks again. Guys, please like our videos. Please thumbs up if you like this episode. Share it with your friends that would love to see Mrs. Boyd and know what she's been up to since the last time they met. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can keep up with weekly episodes of our schoolmates and former teachers, and have an absolutely blessed day. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah!